Love after 64. Compliments that make women fall for you, but 80% men never try. Women fall in love with what they hear. Men fall in love with what they see. After 60, love changes its shape. Desire isn't as loud. The chase isn't as wild. And men no longer feel that primal urge to conquer the way they once did. Affection becomes quieter, but also easier to overlook. And in that quiet, most men forget something essential. Your words still carry power. Most men don't realize the power their words hold. They think attraction is only about looks, money, or status. But the emotion you bring her is what truly sets you apart. And this is the deciding factor. One of the most powerful, yet often underestimated, weapons in your arsenal is a well-timed compliment. Have you ever seen a woman, especially older women, completely shift her energy just because of a man's words? A phrase delivered the right way can change the way she sees you, not just for a moment, but forever. Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Vernon again. And in today's video, I'll share 4 compliments that make women fall for you not because you flatter her ego, but because you awaken her emotions to love, even in old age. Before we dive in, if you're serious about understanding female psychology, emotional connection, and the art of communication after 60, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to share goes deeper than surface-level attraction. This is about emotional intelligence and the psychology of desire that most men never learn. Now, let's start with the first compliment, the one that makes her feel not admired, but understood. Hey Sean, touch her hidden identity. Every woman carries 2 versions of herself. The one she shows the world polished, composed, the mask she's perfected over decades, and the one she hides even from herself, the gentle dreamer, the woman who feels everything deeply, the one who carries other people's pain without ever asking for help. Most men see only the surface. They compliment the performance. You look great. You're so confident. You handle everything so well. But those words barely touch her because she's heard them 1,000 times. They're predictable, safe, forgettable. What she craves, what her soul aches for, is someone who sees past the armor, someone who recognizes the hidden identity she protects so carefully. When you speak to that hidden self, you touch something sacred. Let me tell you about my friend David. He's 72 now, quiet by nature, never been the loudest man in the room. But David has something rare. He notices things, the small gestures, the unspoken emotions, the weight a woman carries in her silence. We were at a dinner gathering last spring, and there was a woman there, Florence, maybe 65, elegant, always laughing, always the one making sure everyone felt comfortable. The kind of woman who seemed to have it all together. David watched her for a while, not in a creepy way, in that observant, thoughtful way he has. And at one point, when the conversation quieted, he turned to her and said, "You care. You feel things deeply, even when you don't say it. I can see it in the way you listen to people, like you're holding space for their pain without them even knowing." The room went still for a second. Sarah's eyes changed. Something softened. She looked at David like he'd just unlocked a door she didn't know she'd been guarding. Later that evening, she asked him to walk with her in the garden. They talked for 2 hours. Within a month, she was the one initiating dates. Not because David was wealthy or handsome or charming in the traditional sense, but because he saw her, the real her, the one she kept hidden beneath all that composure. That's what this compliment does. It's not about praise, it's about recognition. You're validating her emotional DNA, the quiet parts she's learned to protect in a world that demands she stay strong, stay polished, stay unaffected. Female psychology works like this. Women remember the men who make them feel understood without effort. When you speak to her emotional identity, her nervous system reads it as safety, and safety for a woman, is the foundation of attraction. This creates what I call a sweet fear, the sensation of being seen too clearly, but wanting to stay in that gaze anyway. It's vulnerable. It's magnetic. It's the kind of emotional connection that bypasses logic and goes straight to the heart. As the poet Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." When you speak to a woman's hidden identity, you're not wounding her, you're illuminating what she's kept in shadow, and that light is irresistible. What moment in your life made you realize a woman's hidden self is where real connection begins? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may resonate with someone who needs it. Once she feels seen in that untouched place, a different door inside her starts to open on its own. #2. Admire her mind, not her looks. Most men compliment how she looks, her hair, her dress, and her smile. And sure, those things matter, but they're surface, they're expected. They don't create emotional attraction, they create pleasant acknowledgement. And acknowledgement fades fast. Few men notice how she thinks, the way her mind moves through ideas, the curiosity in her questions, the depth of her reflections, the rhythm of her thought process, whether it's careful and methodical or wild and intuitive. When you say, "I like the way you think," you're doing something revolutionary in relationship advice for men. You're treating her intellect as desirable, not her intelligence in the traditional sense, not her degrees or her accomplishments, but her way of seeing the world, her perspective, her mental fingerprint. But sometimes, the most powerful compliment isn't about what she thinks, it's about how she moves through the world. And that's where Carl Jung's words hit with incredible clarity. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. When you admire her mind, you're not just complimenting her, you're inviting transformation. And that's where real chemistry begins. When a woman's mind is seen as valuable, her guard lowers. Because most of the world has told her, especially after 60, that her worth lies in how she looks, how she serves, how she supports, rarely in how she thinks. So when you say, "The way you see things is different, I love that," or "You made me think about that in a way I never considered," you're shifting her self-worth from external beauty to internal brilliance. And that shift is deeply, powerfully attractive. This kind of compliment builds emotional equality. It says, "You're not an ornament in my story. You're a partner in my thoughts." Think about it. How often does she hear, "You're beautiful," versus, "I value your mind"? The first makes her feel admired. The second makes her feel essential. And here's the thing about emotional intelligence in dating after 60. Women at this age have been through enough shallow compliments to last a lifetime. They've been objectified, underestimated, dismissed as past their prime. In a world that worships youth, recognizing her intellect feels like worshiping her wisdom, and wisdom doesn't fade. It deepens. When you compliment the way she thinks, you're telling her, "Your mind is attractive. Your ideas matter. Your perspective makes me want to stay in this conversation longer." That's not flirting psychology, that's emotional magnetism. A quiet shift always follows when her mind is honored, something you can feel more than describe. #3. Recognize her presence and impact. Here's a compliment that bypasses vanity and enters the realm of existential validation. You change the energy of a room without even trying. You're not commenting on her looks. You're not praising her skills. You're recognizing her effect, her presence, the invisible force she brings wherever she goes. And that is everything. Because every woman, no matter how confident she appears, secretly wonders, "Do I matter here? Do I change anything? Or am I just background noise?" That question lives in the back of her mind, especially as she gets older. Society tells her she's fading, becoming invisible. that her prime is behind her. But when you tell her that her presence transforms the atmosphere, that she doesn't have to perform or prove anything, that her simply being already has impact, you silence that doubt. You're saying, you don't have to do more. Your existence already shifts things. I think of my sister Laura. She's 68, runs a small bookshop in Portland, quiet and unassuming. She never thought of herself as someone who commanded attention. She'd joke about being the wallflower who grew old gracefully. A few years ago, she met a man named Thomas at a book reading. He wasn't flashy, wasn't trying to impress, but after they'd talked for a while, he said something that stayed with her. You have this way of making people feel like they're the only person in the room. I noticed it when you were talking to that young couple earlier. They left smiling, and I don't think they even realize why. You changed the space around you. Laura told me later that she replayed those words for weeks, not because they were poetic, but because they made her feel seen as presence, not performance. For the first time in years, she didn't feel invisible. She felt influential. That's what this compliment does. It's not attraction, it's reverence. Understanding women's emotions means understanding this. They don't just want to be admired. They want to know they matter, that their energy, their quiet, unspoken influence ripples outward and changes things. When you recognize that, you're not just complimenting her, you're affirming her existence. And here's the psychology of desire at work. When a woman feels that her presence alone has value, she wants to keep showing up as her truest self. Not the polished version, not the guarded one, but the authentic, unrehearsed version that only emerges when she feels safe. Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." When you honor a woman's presence, you're giving her a feeling she'll carry with her long after the conversation ends. And when a woman understands her presence matters, something powerful awakens in her. Let this message reach more people. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of their quiet influence. A woman's energy, once noticed, often awakens a deeper awareness in the man standing before her. #4. Acknowledge her emotional influence. Real emotional connection happens when you show her the effect she has on your inner world. Not what she does for you, not how she makes you look, but how she changes you. This is the most vulnerable compliment and the most powerful. Listen to these. You change something in me when I talk to you. You make me calmer. It's strange, but real. I don't know why, but you bring out a better version of me. Do you feel the difference? You're not praising her beauty or her achievements. You're exposing your own vulnerability. You're saying, you affect me. And that, in the psychology of attraction after 60, is emotional intimacy disguised as admiration. Women don't just want to be desired. They want to know they have influence, that their presence moves something inside you, that you're not the same man after talking to them. This isn't about manipulation or dark psychology of attraction. It's about honesty. Raw, unfiltered honesty. When you tell a woman, "I'm different around you, I can't explain it, but I feel it," you're doing something rare. You're letting her see your emotional transparency. You're showing her that she has the power to shift your energy, your mood, your perspective. Women crave this recognition, not for power, but for connection. She doesn't want to control you. She wants to know she moves you, that she's not just pleasing you, she's transforming you. This kind of honesty bypasses logic and touches her limbic system, the emotional core that bonds love and memory. It's where attraction becomes attachment, where fascination becomes devotion. Think about the last time someone told you that you changed them, not flattered them, not entertained them, but actually changed something in their internal world. How did that make you feel? That's what you're giving her. You're saying, "I'm not the same after meeting you, and I don't want to go back to who I was before." That's Not just romantic communication. That's existential recognition. It's the kind of compliment that women carry in their hearts for decades. The philosopher Martin Buber wrote, "All real living is meeting." When you acknowledge a woman's emotional influence on you, you're not just complimenting her, you're inviting a meeting of souls. Because when a woman realizes she can change your inner world, that's when she falls, not for your words, but for your presence. Emotional influence is rare, and recognizing it creates bonds that outlast time. Save this video to revisit these insights whenever you want to strengthen your emotional presence. By now, you already know that the most powerful compliments aren't about her body, her beauty, or even her brilliance. They're about how she feels seen. They're the language of masculine energy that understands female psychology at its deepest level. Women after 60 don't fall for men who desire their bodies. They fall for men who awaken their souls. They fall for men who see them, truly see them in a world that's taught them to hide. And if you can be that man, if you can speak to her in a way that makes her feel understood, valued, intellectually stimulated, and emotionally influential, then you're not just attracting her, you're building chemistry naturally. You're creating the kind of emotional connection that doesn't fade. With time, it deepens. Have you ever said something simple, just a few words, but it stayed with her long after? Share your story in the comments. I read every one of them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more wisdom about emotional attraction and deep connection after 60. There are plenty more insights waiting for you on the channel: stories, psychology, and the kind of relationship advice for men that goes beyond the surface. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching till now, and see you in the next video.